Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am your host, Vortex, from MobileMusicPro.com, your home for mobile music production. And if you are new to the channel, what we do here is release weekly videos teaching people how to produce music on their iOS device. And in today's video, we're going to be giving you our top 5 picks for the best AUV3 guitar amp suites right after this. And remember folks, if you do enjoy this content, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Now I have to preface this video with saying that I'm definitely no guitar player, and in fact I only own one guitar and I never really get to play it that much, so I'm actually pretty terrible at it. However, I do use guitar amp sims all the time with my virtual synthesizers and guitars, and that's because I do love playing a variety of virtual instruments with my real keyboard, and I really enjoy the sound of a good guitar amp on pretty much anything. And I'm hearing from more and more actual guitarists that they've been replacing more and more of their pedal boards with just simply an iPhone or an iPad due to its extreme mobility. So I thought it would be a great idea to feature our favorite guitar amp sims to give those people thinking of making a change to their setup some place to start. Alright, and now with that intro aside, let's hop right into CUBASIS 3 and start doing some shredding with these AUV3 guitar amps. But first, we'd just like to preface this top list video with our usual disclaimer, in that this isn't a tutorial video on how to use each and every one of these apps. Rather, we just want to quickly demo them to you, play you a few presets, and show you what we think makes them so special. And of course, this is just our top 5 picks, so definitely make sure to leave yours in the comments below. Alright, now let's just take a quick look at this project and explore these top 5 apps. So what I have here is just a quick little project. It took just about 30-40 minutes to create that we made just for this video. So first, I'm just going to play through this demo real quick and then show you how we used these top 5 apps. Alright, we hope you enjoyed that. Let's just take a quick look at what we did here. So the first track is going to be using the Rock Kit built into CUBASIS, and for the pattern, we are using a couple patterns here from our completely free Essentials Progressive Rock MIDI kit. And then below that, we have a double bass instrument built into CUBASIS 3, and that is going to be using the Stark effect. We have a couple of distorted guitars here that's actually using the Clean guitar built into CUBASIS 3. This guitar track here is going to be using the ToneStack PRO, and then the track below it is going to be using Tonebridge. Then we have a muted guitar here, and this is actually going to be using the guitar effects from Deplike, and actually have that track frozen here. And then finally we have a strings track that's going to be using the Overloud effect. And then we have just a couple of effects here that we pulled from our completely free Essentials FX Toolkit pack. Alright, now let's start going through how we use these effects. So first up we have the Stark effect. We'll make this a little bit bigger here. Now the Stark Amp Simulator by Clevgran is going to be a fully fledged amplifier simulator consisting of 4 different modules, including an amplifier, cabinet, room, and effect slots. These modules are processing audio separately, which makes it possible to combine different amplifiers with different cabinets and different rooms. And this effect is currently going for $19.99 in the App Store. Now remember, one of the key things here between all of these different apps that we're speaking about today is the ability to add all of these different effects and pedals all within the same app. So right away we can see we have a couple of different effects here, but those are coming after our original amp model here. And for our amp model, we've chosen the American bass and boosted that up a little bit, trimmed down the mids a little, and then added these 3 different effects. And that's going to include the distortion, EQ, and compressor. And I just love having all of these options on the same screen. We have all of our effects here, our amp here, our cabinet on the bottom left, and then to the right our ambience. And at the bottom right hand corner our presets. So everything that we can tweak is right here on the screen all at once. And you can easily add more effects by tapping on the plus here, and then you can choose from a wide variety of different built-in effects, including things like delays, choruses, flangers, phasers, reverbs, and much, much more. And you can easily swap these around as well by tapping on the arrow here on the bottom left-hand corner of each and every one of these effects. You just tap and hold on that, and then we can drag this anywhere we'd like. So in this way, it becomes really, really easy to experiment with a bunch of different effects. And of course, it is Clevgrand, so you are going to have a ton of presets on each and every one of these to choose from. So if we look at our amps here, we can see we have all these different things to choose from, including American guitars, British guitars, vintage guitars, and much more. And then we have our cabinet presets at the bottom left-hand corner, where we can choose from things like wide combo, tight small, wide normal, and a few more. And then finally, we have a ton of main presets to choose from over here. Now these main presets are going to swap out all these different choices and all of these different effects. So now let's just go through a few of these different presets. So first we'll check out a couple of different bass models here. Right now we are on the American bass, so let's choose a few others. Let's hit play. So a couple of great presets in there. Let's try a main preset. We'll go down to bass, and we'll try a few of these clean basses first. All right, let's try a few overdrives real quick. Oh yeah. And of course, these are just the bass presets. It can do much, much more than just bass. So again, all in all, a super versatile app with a ton of presets and a ton of options for you to explore. And next up, we have ToneStack PRO by Yonak Inc., currently available for $9.99 in the App Store. Now, ToneStack PRO is a faster, more efficient, and more powerful version than ever. New digital modeling algorithms make every amp and effect sound bigger and richer than before. Advanced optimization enables stereo processing across the board, even for amps and cabs. Everything is brand new and re-envisioned to maximize your workflow, whether you use ToneStack PRO by itself, in a DAW, in your bedroom, or in a professional studio. Now we do have the app pulled up here, and we are using the Classic Rock Pro 1 preset. Now what I really love about this app, much like Stark, is the user interface, where everything that you need is right there at your fingertips, ready and waiting to be tweaked. Now if we make this a little bit bigger, you can see that it does zoom in on all these different effects. And if you make it small, it'll zoom out so you can see everything at once. A really nice touch there for this interface. But let's just make this a little bigger so we can zoom in. Now once you do have the app zoomed in, you can scroll horizontally to see all of your different effects. Now, unlike some other guitar effects, you can actually tweak the knobs right here on the interface. So for example, we can adjust the gain here. We can adjust the bass just by touching it. We can adjust the distortion over here. Everything is right there at your fingertips. We can even adjust the mics and mic position. So we'll just choose a different mic here. Then we can move that all around wherever we'd like, left and right. And we can actually move this closer or farther away from the amp by dragging it up and down. And you always have the full chain here visible at the top, so you can just double tap on something to get to it real quick. And then we can go back to the delay and the reverb by double tapping on that. And another really cool feature that I love about this app is the option to quickly audition 4 different settings here. So in the top left-hand corner, we have A, B, C, and D. So you can A/B sounds really simple with this interface. And if you'd like the full preset browser, then you can tap on where it says Classic Rock or wherever the preset name is, tap on that. Then you get the full preset browser to peruse through. And there are a ton of presets in here, guys, like hundreds of presets. You can see we have Pro, Pro 2, Classics 1, and Classics 2, and each one of these has at least 50 different presets on here. So just hundreds of different presets to go through to find the exact sound that you're looking for. And now let's just go through a few different presets to hear what this app sounds like. So we'll start out with the original preset that we had here, which was the classic rock. Let's hide the preset browser by tapping on the preset again. Let's make this a little bit smaller and hear what this sounds like. But first, I am going to take off the waves delay here, so we can just hear the ToneStack PRO app. And let's hit play. So just an absolutely beautiful sounding app, and it even has a tuner built in for you right here at the top, where you can tap on tuner. So for all those that are not using virtual guitars like we are here, it's a super handy feature to have. So a ton of presets, a ton of fantastic sounds, a fabulous user interface. There's really not much more that you can ask for here. Now the next few apps that we're going to talk about are completely free, but they do offer in-app purchases. And the first one of those is going to be Tonebridge by Ultimate Guitar. Now, Tonebridge is designed to be super easy to use for beginners and comes with over 9,000 presets with full control of every sound setting to give you the sound of the original song, but with the ability to tweak it however you like. You can choose from over 100 amps, cabinets, pedals, and microphones to create your own unique tones and then publish them to the catalog to gain attention from thousands of other Tonebridge users. So we do have the app pulled up here, and you can see the preset that we're using right now is the Rock and Roll is Dead by Lenny Kravitz. But let's just make this a little bit bigger here so we can see. What we can do is we can click on the search button here, and you can see we've searched for a few different things here, but you can search for your favorite artist or your favorite song, and it will likely have the preset ready to go for you. So for example, we can type in Metallica, it'll have that ready to go, and you can see we have all of these different presets from all of these different songs and even individual parts of songs. So for example, you can see that this one is labeled the intro, this one is labeled the main riff, and this one is labeled a solo riff. So you can really dig deep into exactly what tones make up a song. And again, they have pretty much every artist you can ever think of. This was Metallica here, but let's search for another one. How about Blink-182? There you go, just a ton of presets ready to go. In fact, we can probably scroll for a while here. Holy smokes, look at this. Every single one of their albums pretty much. And once you do find one that you like, you can just tap on it. So we'll just tap on any one of these at random. How about Time to Break Up? Now the thing about this app is there's not a whole lot of settings that you can tweak after this. You pretty much usually only have a couple of different slider wheels. And those usually include an effect, the volume, and a noise gate. So let's go ahead and audition a few of these different presets and hear what this sounds like. All right, let's try a few more. How about Metallica? Let's go back to Metallica, try a few of these, like Master of Puppets. And in fact, let's take off a few of our effects first. Let's take off our wider effect and our CUBASIS effect, and maybe even the Studio EQ as well. Now we'll just be able to hear Tonebridge. And let's try a few more of these presets. Now we were just using the MIDI from this quick little loop that we made, but once you have the preset pulled up, you can of course begin sending audio to it however you like. So you can just start playing your guitar, or we can just start playing our keyboard. Very, very cool. So I don't quite use this app quite as much as the other apps, but it is absolutely so much fun to lose yourself in playing with all of these different presets from pretty much any single band you can ever think of. And the next app that we'll be talking about is Guitar Amps and Effects by Deplike. Now, Deplike lets you enjoy a full studio guitar setup from your iPhone or iPad. That's right, this app is universal. You can install and get your dream pedal board, amps, and cabinets right in your pocket. This app was designed to be super easy to use with a plug-and-play experience where all you have to do is connect your guitar to your mobile device. Then you can easily begin using all these different guitar, effects, and amps. Now, we do have the app pulled up here, and you'll notice it's not in AUV3 mode. Now, of course, this video was for AUV3 apps only, so let's show you what's going on. So if we open up our CUBASIS again, we'll go back here. You can see that we are using the Guitar Effects app, but when we pull it up, you'll see that it gives us some instructions. Now, personally, I really dislike this AUV3 implementation of this app. Now, the app itself is still incredibly awesome, but in AUV3 mode, you can see that it gives you these instructions to just go ahead and open up the app in full screen mode anyway, which pretty much mirrors the old inter-app audio-like experience. But nevertheless, it is still technically AUV3 because you can use it in AUV3 mode. But in order to tweak or use the app, you kind of have to use the inter-app audio experience by opening it up in full screen. So if you right-click and open that up, and a couple really handy features is a metronome and tuner here that you'll find immediately on the far right-hand side of the app. And what's cool is it even has a virtual guitarist to give you some ideas for where you want to go. So for example, you can click on virtual guitarist and then click on metal, just to give you an idea of what that type of genre actually sounds like. While you're here in this interface, you can swap out any one of these effects by just double tapping. And here you can browse their huge library of different cabinets, distortion, effects, reverb, and much more. We just have the free version here, so you can see that some of these say go premium, but there are still a bunch of free ones to choose from, so you can test it out before you actually have to pay. Alright, now to close this browser, we just tap on the X on the top right-hand corner. Now, one of the features I really love about this app is their preset world. And that's pretty much what they call their catalog of online presets that anybody can access. We tap on the guitar here in the top right-hand corner, and then tap on Preset World. You can see that you can just scroll endlessly and see all these user-generated presets with a bunch of different effects. Actually, these things have cabinets and effects and pedals and all sorts of stuff. I wish there was a bit more of a description on these, but they do have hashtags. So for example, if something is acoustic, it will have an acoustic hashtag, or if something is metal, it'll usually have a metal hashtag. Let's hear what our current preset sounds like, and then we'll start playing with a few others. So we'll go back to CUBASIS, and let's hear that. Now, just like before, we've disabled a couple of different effects like the wider effect. And in fact, let's disable the Studio EQ too, so we can get as much of a pure sound out of the original app as we can. So let's start playing with a few different effects. So let's go back to the app, go to our preset browser, go to Preset World. Now what I'm going to do is go back to CUBASIS and hit play, and then tap on a few of these different presets. So let's hit play. Now you can hear some of these are much quieter than the others, so you will have to adjust your volume based on what preset that you have, but it is still fun to play with all of these different user-generated presets. So overall, a pretty decent app. I really like it, but I just hate the AUV3 implementation here. We know it's not easy to completely recreate your interface for AUV3, but if you do want to remain competitive with the rest of the apps out there, you are going to eventually have to do that at some point. Alright, and the final app that we'll be talking about today is Overloud THU by Almatech. Now, Overloud turns your iOS device into a guitar and bass processor to play live, practice, or record. You can build your own rig by using an unlimited number of amplifiers, cabinets, stomp boxes, and studio processors in your sound chain, and you can connect your guitar to the iOS device using any digital audio interface. Now, we do have the app pulled up, and actually we're kind of using this a little unconventionally. We're using this on our strings. But of course, you can throw an amplifier on just about anything, and we definitely do, including strings, synths, and much more. Now, I think today this is probably going to be my second favorite user interface, with the ToneStack PRO being my favorite. But this definitely comes close here. Let's show you what we mean. So right away, you can tap and drag all you want to do here. You can zoom in and zoom out. by tapping on the zoom in and zoom out button here on the far left hand corner, or you can just zoom in manually with your fingers with a pinch and zoom. And again, move that all around here by just tapping anywhere that you'd like. You can scroll to the left, scroll to the right, zoom in, zoom out, so very, very pretty. Now the one hang up here that I don't like is in order to adjust any of these different settings, we actually have to double tap on one and then use these sliders here on the far right hand side. Now it's kind of nitpicking, it's not a big deal, but it is still extremely fun to adjust all the different dials and settings with your fingers or your mouse in the other apps. In my opinion, it kind of breaks the realism a little bit by having the sliders here on the far right hand side instead of being able to adjust the dials directly on the effect. But again, I am nitpicking a little bit because the sound is absolutely fantastic. And you can easily swap out the amp for something else by tapping on the amp name at the bottom, and then you can browse through all the available different amps. And of course, as you can see here, there are a ton to choose from. Each and every one of these apps just has a bunch of awesome effects built in. And you can actually even sort these if you'd like by tapping on the sort button at the top, and then you can choose from these available options at the bottom. And you can do this for each and every one of these different effects. So if we just drag back over here again, we can tap on that and see all the different effects available. So some really cool stuff in here, some really cool emulations. Let's close that. Then we can tap on the X to go back to the main interface here where we can zoom in and zoom out. And just like the other apps, there are some main presets here that already have some chains created for you. So we can just tap on like smooth jazz here and then tap on X and we can zoom out to see what these different effects are. And then you can easily addition these by using the arrows to go back and forth. And you can always customize the chain by tapping on the plus button on the far right hand side to add something else at any time. So let's close that. And let's listen to a few of these different sounds. Again, it's a little bit different. These are on the strings, but you should still be able to get the idea of the high quality sound of this app. Again, these were on our strings, but definitely don't be afraid to experiment and throw amps on a bunch of different effects and a bunch of different instruments. Odds are you are going to find some pretty cool sounds. Alright, and now it's time again for our final thoughts. And if you are still rocking with us, then we just can't thank you enough for being here, especially those folks that are here every single Wednesday and Friday to watch our live streams and our live premieres. Now we really hope that you enjoyed this quick demo of all these apps, because obviously we can't fully do them justice in just a couple of minutes, but we still hope we gave you enough of a taste for you to go and explore these apps on your own. Everyone has their own favorite sounds and tones, so it's just nice to have all of these different amps and cabinets and effects all in one single place that you can just carry around anywhere. And if you haven't heard yet, the deadline of our latest sample pack contest has come and gone. We'll be revealing the top 4 prize winners as well as playing through all the contest entries during our live stream on April 6th. And finally, we just released a brand new episode of our Mobile Music Roundtable podcast where we bring on new panelists each and every month to discuss topics important to the iOS music community. And this month we got to talk to some amazing content creators including Pete Johns, Jade Starr, and Jamie Mallender. And of course, we always have a ton more content coming your way, folks, so if you do want to keep up with everything that we're doing over here at the channel, from giveaways to contests to sample packs and more, definitely make sure to sign up for our completely free newsletter at MobileMusicPro.com/newsletter. And so, until next time everybody, keep talking music, and we'll see you later. Hey everybody, Vortex here, and if you're not aware yet, we now have over 100 fully edited mobile music tutorial videos. And we make music every single Wednesday live on our channel right inside of CUBASIS on our iPad. Plus, we also have a bunch of free sample packs, guides, and more at our website at MobileMusicPro.com/free. And so if you are into that sort of thing, producing music on your iPhone or iPad, then definitely make sure to subscribe and check out the rest of the videos on the channel that we know you'll love.